First, we'll open the trunk. Using a plastic trim remover tool like this, we will take out this plastic cover. We'll punch in the tool in the corner and pull out that plastic cover. Behind the plastic cover, there are two 10mm screws. Here I'm using an impact gun with a 10mm socket to take both of the screws out. Once both the screws are out, then I will use a clip remover tool like this and will take out two clips from the edge. One more clip inside the trunk we will also take out from the top side. Now we will pull down that cover from behind and notice there is that plug right there that we are supposed to take out. Notice from the other side there's that tab. We actually have to press that tab and then pull the plug outwards. Once we pull out the plug, the other thing in the middle right there is that rubber that we have to push outside. With the rubber pushed, now we will go at the front to pull out the taillight. Using both arms, we will slide out the taillight just like that. And there you would see the taillight popping out. Right there we ended up taking out the taillight completely. In my case the taillight is good, so I'll be installing it back, but in your case if you have a new taillight and you want to install it back, the first thing we will punch in is the harness right here. We will make sure the plug is completely in up until to the point of that circled rubber cover. Also we will make sure that circled rubber cover is all the way in and not popping out. You will have to keep pushing all the edges of that circled rubber cover until it's completely in. Now notice this side of taillight has this kind of position right here, and that has to be slided into that bracket right there. Similar to that, notice there is one pointer coming out right here. That pointer has to go into that position right there. So we will punch in the taillight keeping in mind those two positions. We will carefully punch in the taillight and make sure it is sitting in there properly. Once the taillight is in place, then we will go behind and then punch in the plug. Make sure the tab side of the plug is the opposite way. There's the plug installed. Then we will put this cover back to where we took it out from. Make sure the cover is in from all over the edges. Now we will punch in all those three clips one by one. Also make sure the edge of the cover is underneath that rubber molding. Once we make sure all the edges are underneath the molding, then we will go ahead at the front and punch in both the screws one by one. Now to tighten both the screws, I will be using a tool like this. It is a socket wrench, an extension and a 10mm socket. We will avoid using the gun because sometimes using the gun it ends up breaking the tabs of the taillight, and we are trying to avoid doing that here. Once both the screws are tight enough, now we will go ahead and punch in that plastic cover. Notice behind the plastic cover there are two tabs, one right here and one right there. And these two tabs are supposed to go into these two holes right there. And we will punch in the plastic cover keeping in mind those two positions. We will carefully punch in the plastic cover and make sure to give it a slight push at the very end. With the plastic cover in place, with that, we are done with the replacement of taillight. If this video helps you in any way, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel.